Hello, welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. Before we continue, we would like to thank all of you who have liked our page in Facebook and who have followed us also in Instagram. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how to change or convert letter cases in PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. It will just teach us how to change all our texts or letters into uppercase, lowercase, proper, or sentence case. So, I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so the tip for today is how to convert letter cases in PowerPoint, Word, and in Excel. So how do we convert letter cases? What do we mean by it? It's changing the letters into uppercases or lowercase, or making them into capital letters or small letters. Now, for PowerPoint, we can do that by going to the Home ribbon, and then looking at the font panel, you will see that there is this particular drop-down arrow for the change case. So the change case, you just need to select if you want to change a certain text into uppercase, lowercase, or other common capitalizations. And these are the options. You have the sentence case, the lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and then the toggle case. I will go over them one by one. So let's focus first on PowerPoint. So what we have here right now is a sample or an excerpt from the desiderata. So I got here about four paragraphs and then the byline. Now what we're going to do right now is I'll highlight. If I will just click on the text box, I can already do I can already convert the letter cases. So doing the sentence case will just make the first letter of the first word change into an uppercase. So if you notice, the first letters are just capitalized, same with the byline. Now, if I would choose another one, like the lowercase option, it will turn all the text into lowercase, okay, or the small letters. Again, if I am going to change it into an uppercase, then it will change everything into the uppercase letters, and then capitalize each word. Now, what it did is it made the first letter of all words an uppercase letter. So that's what the capitalization or capitalize each word does. Now, as for the toggle case, the word toggle, it will just convert whatever case the letters are in. So let's say this one is in uppercase, the word go, letter G is in uppercase. If you click on toggle case, it will make G turn into a lowercase letter and then O into an uppercase. So let's do it. So that's what it did. Since all the letters earlier were in the capitalized all letters, what it did is it changed the first letter of all words into lowercase. So that's how we do changing the case in PowerPoint. So let's go back, put it back in sentence case. You can also do this by you can also choose or highlight words or sentences or paragraphs inside the text box. So like in this case, I just highlighted the byline, so I will turn this into an uppercase, and then the first paragraph I'll turn into, let's say, lowercase. So that's how you just change the cases per paragraph, or based on the highlighted word that you will choose in the text box. So that's the one for PowerPoint. Now the similar case can be done in Word. So here I have the same sample. I have here an excerpt from Desiderata. So again, in the Home ribbon, you can see in the font panel the change case drop down. So again, there's the sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and then the toggle case. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight a line and turn it into an uppercase. So similar to what we did in PowerPoint, you can just highlight and then change it to the case that you want it to be converted to. So that's how you do it in Word. Let me just finish this one. Here, let's convert it using the toggle case. Now it's going to be a different scenario for Excel. So how do we do that? Let me just open the Excel window. Here we're going to try the same. We're going to apply the same thing in the Desiderata excerpt. But before we go into that, we need to learn some functions in Excel. So why do we need to do that? Because if you're going to the home ribbon and into the font panel, you will not see the change case option in the panel. It's because they have already made functions that will do this particular task in Excel, which is upper, lower, and then proper. So what does upper do? Upper converts the text string to all uppercase letters, while lower converts all letters in the text string to lowercase, and then proper converts text string to proper case, the first letter in each word to uppercase and all the other letters to lowercase. So this is similar to the function. Let me just go back here. This is similar to the capitalize each word option that we have in the change case in both PowerPoint and Word. So let's go back to Excel. So how do we do this? All you need to do is type in the function. So let's do this in the 4th paragraph. If I want to change the whole cell into an uppercase in uppercase format, all I need to do is type in upper and then the text or the cell reference. In this case, it's A8. So once I type in enter, it will turn this cell reference. The contents will be turned into uppercase letters. Now the next one is we have the lowercase. So again, like I've mentioned earlier, if we want to change it into lowercase, and we just type in lower. So here we type in lower and then the cell reference, which is A7, and then press enter. So this cell is now converted into lowercase. I mean, the contents have been turned into lowercase letters. Now let me just skip this second cell and let me go to the proper case first. For you to be able to capitalize the first letter of each word, you need to use the proper function. So how do we do that? Just type in proper and then the cell reference and then press enter. So what it did is it just turned the first letters of all words into uppercase and then the rest are in lowercase. Now, why did I skip doing the sentence case? Because it will require us to use multiple functions. So let me go to the other sheet and let me introduce the other functions for us to be able to do the sentence case. We have here len, left, and right. Len was introduced in the first video that we shared, and I hope you were able to watch it. But let's review what we can do with len. Len returns the number of characters in a text string, while left returns the specified number of characters from the start of a text string. Right returns the specified number of characters from the end of a text string. So here, I've put in an example, Juan de la Cruz. If I want to use len, and then the reference, it will give me 14 as a result. So this means this particular cell contains 14 characters. Characters include spaces and punctuations. Now, if I want to use the left function, what do I need to do? I need to put in the text or the reference. In this case, it's C6, and then the number of characters from the start of the text string. If I want to get the first 5 letters from the left, so I'll just put in equals left, C6, and then 5. So it will give me 1, but there's a space there. So let me just add another, or let me just change the number of characters. If I want to put there 7, okay, it will give me 7 characters. So 1 has 4 characters, and then space would be the 5th, DE would be the 6th and 7th character. Now for right, it will be counting, or it will give us the characters starting from the right or from the end of the text string. So if I put here right, and then the cell reference C6, and then put in 7, I would get La Cruz. So that would be the first 2 letters, and then the space, that's the 3rd character, and then CRUZ, that would be the 7, that will already include the 7 letters starting from the end of the text string. So that's how we will be using len, left, and right. Now, why do we need to know that? Because if we're going to get the sentence case, we need to make sure that the first letter of a particular letter is the one that's going to be capitalized or put in uppercase. In this case, we have one sentence: speak your truth quietly and fairly and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant, they too have their story. So how do we do that? First, we try to get if you want to do the long method, we want to know how many characters there are in this particular cell. There's 121. So what do we need to do? We need to turn this one, letter S, we need to turn this one into an uppercase, and then the rest, turn it into lowercase letters. So how do we do that? I need to type in upper and then left, the text, and then the first letter of the reference. So after I've typed that, it will give me uppercase S. So that's the first part of the formula. Now, how do I make the others into lowercase? So all I need to do here is type ampersand. It connects text. So I'll need to type in lower. So I need to type in lower and then write the cell reference, which is A6, and then knowing that there are 121 characters in the cell, I can put here 120. So what it will do is it will just, let me just make sure that I have the right number of parentheses. So what it will do is it will turn the rest of the letters into lowercase. So that's how we can create this particular cell into a sentence case. Now what I did was cheating because I already counted the number of characters in this particular cell. We can still correct this. Okay, so how do we do that? I'll just type in, okay, this is the first formula that we've used. And now I'll use the other formula wherein I won't need to put in or type the number of characters in a separate cell. So I'll type here upper and then left, get the reference, get the first letter, and that would be our uppercase S, and then get lower, right, the cell reference, and instead of putting in 120 because we need to know the number of characters, what we can do here is type in len and then the cell reference and then put in -1 because we are taking out letter S. So that would be 121 less 1 letter. That's why we need to put in len A6 -1 and then press enter. See, we still have the same result without putting in len outside another reference. And if we're going to compare the formula used, here, these two formulas just gave us the same result. So I hope this was able to, these tips will help you in using Excel in converting letter cases, and same as using changing cases in PowerPoint and Word. So thank you very much for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. And let us know also what other types of functions or formula that you want to learn in Excel, and other tips that you want to learn also in PowerPoint and Word. See you next time.